Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm sorry?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to give the room a second to fill up. I am late. I was having some technical difficulties, and I was also making arrangements because I am going to be on Martinis with Eddie live tonight after the reunion. And I know that you guys had previously, we had talked about me going live last week. And so I wanted to let you guys know that we will be live tonight on Martinis with Eddie, and will be 9 o'clock Eastern time because it'll be whatever time the show is over on the East Coast. So that would be like 9 o'clock. And how are you guys today? Hi, Kate Mama. Hi, guys. I'm so sorry I'm late. If you're here, comment. Tell me where you're watching from. I love to know where you guys are watching from. We have a lot to talk about and a lot to cover, so I'm excited. Like I said, I'm sorry that I'm late, but it's going to be a good live. It's going to be worth it. And I had to get with Eddie so that we could get everything situated for tonight so that you guys will have a live directly after the Real Housewives of New Jersey on Martinis with Eddie. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started chatting, guys. First of all, of course, everything in this video is alleged, okay? We are talking Real Housewives of New Jersey first. We also have a little bit to talk about with Kim and Croy. Thank you, K Mama. I'm so glad you're here. Let me put my banner on too, guys. There is news on the Atlanta mansion home front. Don't you feel like Kim and Croy are just like a good old Reba McEntire country song? Like the night the lights went out in Georgia. Anyone remember that? I feel so old. I love Reba McEntire. Anyways, Croy. And then I also want to talk, of course, a little bit about Melissa. Also, getting some like harassing like tweets and DMs and comments again from the team, from the M&M team. And also I want to talk to you guys. If you've heard this, let me know. There was allegedly a podcast that Melissa did, and she spoke about how Joe actually told Marge to push Danielle's husband into the pool that night. If you guys remember, I can't remember the exact season. Well, Danielle was still on. What season was that, guys? Like 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah, allegedly Joe Gorga like set the whole scene up and told Marge like you should really throw him in the pool. And if you go back and watch the scene, you can kind of see how he interjects himself to kind of position them just right so that she can just push him right on into the pool. And people are really saying like it's crazy how they'll break the fourth wall and tell us that, and people are fine with it. But like when Teresa told Danielle, you should pull her hair, everyone was like, oh my gosh, Teresa told Danielle to pull Marge's hair. You know, like obviously it wasn't a nice thing to do, right? We all know that, of course. But at the same stance, I feel like Teresa was kind of held to a different standard compared to her brother, who told Marge to push him in the freaking pool at a party when he was in a full suit. He could have had his phone in his pocket. I mean, that is a pretty, I mean, pushing someone in the pool, not a big deal. Pushing somebody in the pool fully clothed in an event, that's messed up. Hi, Juliet from New York. Hey, Jeg, season 9. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cancer Queen. I cannot believe Melissa said in their reunion, I'm interesting and cool, and she's nothing but boring. Guys, have you seen the news about how allegedly her assistant is online commenting or letting people know that allegedly, here's some tea. Are you guys ready? Have you guys already heard it? Well, allegedly, like, she can't always afford like the finer name brand attire, right? And so she and her assistant used to use the oldest trick in the book. Ladies, I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. Put in the comments that she allegedly keeps the tags on and returns that shit. And they've also caught clips from the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip of allegedly, like, she's putting on her little jacket and there's like a tag hanging right here. I saw the footage. It looks like a tag. I mean, we don't know if she does it all the time. I feel like you would have to be very mindful that that would not come out anywhere. But I'm not sure. You know, I don't buy luxury name brand items, so I wouldn't know. Maybe she, if you guys remember, she was like decorating with those boxes. I forget where the boxes were from. They were like Givenchy, maybe, I don't know, but she had them like set on a dresser, or maybe they were Gucci or something. I didn't get the notification. Oh, I'm sorry, Deb. Damn, I probably should have done a whole new. I came in late because I'm gonna be going live tonight with Martinis and Eddie after the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion, so we had to get everything set up. And we only had an opportunity to do it now. So Melissa was so prepared, cool, calm, and a bitch. I feel like this is what Teresa gets so flustered because the lies are just like, okay, for instance, hypothetically, let's say we all agree that in order to visit someone in prison, okay, you have to, as somebody on the outside, you have to go online to the prison website, you have to print out the visitation forms, you have to get a copy of your ID, your address. You put all of that in an envelope and you send it into the prison, directed to like the case manager or the inmate directly, and then you wait. They will notify the inmate when you are approved or denied. This is how Teresa was able to say, she told Melissa, oh, you're not approved yet, you're not approved yet, you're not approved yet, knowing that she could have been approved. Visitation is super important because that's how they get money on their books. So there's money transactions coming from visitors. That's why they vet them. Of course, in men's prisons, there's a lot of drugs that go through visitation. So for many reasons. But let's just say like that Melissa was telling a fib. When she did it, she just kept like saying, he wasn't on the list. He wasn't on the list. And Teresa would like say something else and she'd be like, but he wasn't on the list. Like she just repeats the lie like over and over and over until you're so flustered. And it's like so like difficult to break it down. Like, how can you make that any more simple? But obviously people that haven't really experienced it may not know or like get it, but like she knows that Melissa gets it, and so does Joe, because they're connected. Do you think they don't have people they know that are in prison? Come on now. So there was also a confessional of Joe saying that it took 6 months for him to get approved. And doesn't his sister take care of the approved visitors? No, the sister doesn't take care of the approved visitors. A case manager runs your entire name. They want to know if you're on parole, probation, last time you were arrested. They want to know your permanent address. Are you, have you been in jail in the last however long? How many convictions you have? Like, whether you have it or you don't, it doesn't matter. You still got to provide all the information so that they can properly vet you through their state BCI, basically. Um, and so I think that Melissa just spews the same thing over and over and over. Like, he wasn't on the list, he wasn't on the list, he wasn't on the list. And Teresa just is like, she just can't anymore, right? Everyone, of course, talking about the biasness of allegedly Andy Cohen. Um, I don't know what we're going to see tonight, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be a good edit towards Trey. I just have that feeling that it's not gonna be great for Teresa. And I everyone, we kind of speculate, like, what is it? Like, why is it that they are like protected and the edit it is usually in their favor, and like we know Teresa can handle it, and we know that there has to be a good guy and a bad guy, but it seems like the editing has surely taken a turn since the beginning of the season. And also, I think that if Melissa and Joe are making Bravo money outside of the housewives, because every time they make money, they have to pay Bravo too, right? So I posted a bunch of endorsements that Melissa had posted on her page between like 2021 and 2022. And there were like a lot of different endorsements for like face brushes or, Tide Pods, whatever the case may be. Regardless, you can tell she's like hustling, but Bravo is still getting a cut of all of those hustles. But Teresa is too. So I'm not really sure if they're just trying to have their cake and eat it too, and they're trying to save Melissa and Joe's what is the word? Like, they're trying to help like their appearance almost. Kind of like what Kathy Hilton wanted to do when she went on the Real Housewives of New Jersey or of Beverly Hills, and it did the opposite. What's to say? Did you hear everyone talking about your TikTok about Jill telling Margaret to push? No, I didn't. Good. Was it me? Sometimes I just be making TikToks. I don't know if I post them to Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. That's why I always come on and tell you guys first, and then go over to my other platforms, because it's hard to remember where you went, right, Mama? So Teresa expects Marge, and though she is wrong, to accept her apologies, but she's incapable of accepting and letting go of the things other people apologize to her. No, that isn't how it works. Teresa expects Marge and those. Oh, this is what else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Thank you, Gloria, for your opinion and for being respectful, right? Because, guys, we can disagree. We don't all have to have the same queens. We don't all have to love the same housewives. That's what makes it such a great Bravo community, is we all have love for different housewives. And as long as we can communicate that respectfully, have great conversation and good chat. Okay. We got to talk about everything going on with Monica. Monica. I did a lot of research this morning because I really wanted to be able to come to you guys and be for sure with information that I'm telling you, because it's kind of a tangled web. Just like everything in New Jersey, it's a tangled web. I have a playlist from last year that I did on the Manzos. If you are newer to the Real Housewives of New Jersey franchise, you might want to go check that out, just because it's going to give you a lot of content. And I think when you go back and watch episodes and find out different things, it really helps put the puzzle pieces together for you, right? So we all kind of know that they're connected, right? Like, we know the brownstone got raided allegedly, like that allegedly Caroline and Al, their whole thing. We know about Al's dad, how he, sadly, tragically was. And like, we know that they're in New Jersey. They're mobsters. It kind of like a spinoff from, I want to say, what was it? Mobster Wives? Is that what it was called? I loved that show, by the way. It was on VH1. I think at first they might have been trying to pull like a more elevated version of that. I say that because Dina Manzo and Tommy were actually married on a TV show off of VH1 called My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And allegedly, Dina is the one who put together the cast in New Jersey that started the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So for me, I feel like she took mobs. Well, she meant not specifically, but maybe the network, whomever, they were trying to replicate it, but just on an elevated level. So I think that there was nothing wrong at the time. People didn't see anything wrong with it because it felt like it was just like they were gangsters. Did you hear everyone? Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm talking about hair pulling incident where Teresa whispered to Danielle to pull Marge's hair a few seasons ago. Teresa was so mad that production exposed that. I know she was, and people came for her. They were mad about it, but then Melissa says on her podcast that Joe was the one that told Marge to push. What was his name? I can't remember his name. I want to. What was his name? It was Danielle's husband, and he was friends with them. He started out as friends with them and married her. Anyways, if you guys go back and remember, Marge pushed him in the pool. They were standing outside. They were arguing, but allegedly, according to Melissa's podcast, she says that Joe was the one that told Marge, you should push him in the pool. And so when you see the scene start to set up, you kind of see Joe Gorga very, very, very nonchalantly. You would never know if someone didn't tell you. He just kind of slides in between Joe and the dude, and it gives, Marge the perfect angle to just bump him in the pool. And again, guys, okay, fun, hee hee ha ha if you get thrown in the pool, but when you get thrown in the pool, fully dressed, cell phone in a suit, not so cool. Not so cool. I started out a Teresa fan and on her team, but she was such a hateful person who can't take accountability for any of her actions. I've never been a Melissa fan, but Teresa has pushed me to want her out. Geez, Gloria, I'm sorry to hear that. It was on VH1 years ago. Big Ange. Yes, 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 yes. Marty, thank you, Jegs. Gosh, I need you, Jegs. I need you in my pocket because you guys know me. I'm not good with names. I can't help it. I'm just not good with names. I know everything that's happened and everyone that's involved. I just might mess up their name. Remember when I came back from New York after I met Laura Lee Jensen, Margaret's ex-best friend, who is lovely, by the way. Lovely. And I don't normally typically find women that I think are really lovely. Like we hung out for hours. We actually went and hung out after the Q&A with David and her and a couple other people. And she was lovely. And she was asked me anything. She was very, very open. Which why not have Bravo sit down with her and do an interview? Like, they just keep talking about people that we don't know, and the audience does not like that. Okay, people didn't know who Bo Deal was. They had to Google him. Even Nate, Danielle Cabral's husband, he said he had to Google him. He didn't even know who he was either. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Oh, Monica, I love Monica, guys. Go follow Monica. She's this beautiful, creative, artistic, wonderful person. I love her so much. And I hope that I get to come to New York to see you soon, Monica. I think Joe and Andy just adore Joe Gorga. All about time. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, Monica, I love you so much. You're so sweet. Oh, Jags is Juliet's in New York too. Monica's in New York too. I love New York City. I come in and out I usually only get to stay a night, and I make it down to Canal Street to get a bag. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I'm a different Monica. Yep, I see Monica May in my one of Mom's collection. Yep. This was my Monica that we went out with David, and she was the one that, because I was like, I don't know about Laura Lee, I don't know what I think about her, and I wasn't quite sold. I was very, very, very skeptical, and she was like, listen, I really think that you're gonna like her. She's gonna be there. David invited her. I think you'll like her. And she's like, she'll probably, talk to you or whatever. And she did. She was so nice. She took pictures. Like I said, and we hung out for hours afterwards. So we were actually going to try to have brunch. We were going to have Monica and do brunch if we were going to come in to see Teresa, because I think her and Melissa Feaster are doing a show in New York. At least they were. I'm not sure if they are. Okay, back to my notes. I got distracted. Sorry, we have a lot to cover, guys, in our live today. Joe Gorga pull. Okay. Oh yes. Okay. Note, guys. Do you guys remember when everything happened at the Gansevoort with Jennifer Aiden? First of all, what do you guys think of? She was amazing. Laura Lee was amazing, but where I was going with that story, when I told the story when I got home from New York City, I called her Laura Lee Jenkins because of Diana Jenkins from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I did an entire video calling her Laura Lee Jenkins. The entire video, right? Felt like such an asshole. She texted me and she's like, "My last name's Jensen." I'm like, "I am so sorry. It just flowed together, you know?" But I felt like an asshole for real, but anyways, guys, okay, back on track. So anyway, Melissa and Joe and Jennifer, the Gansevoort, if you guys remember, I was at the Gansevoort the night before that happened. Exactly where they were. Elevators, hotel. It's a fancy hotel. Fancy schmancy. Okay. Fancy schmancy. I never even heard of it, but we slowly made our way in, and it's a very nice place. Anyways, if you guys go back and watch the scene, you'll remember that Melissa looks at Jennifer. She calls them, she's like, "Losers," remember? And she was like, "Bye bye." And someone pointed out to me that she did that to Teresa at the reunion, and she was like, "Bye bye." So she's like using her line. And if you remember, she called them losers at the finale party too. What do you guys think about Bravo not discussing BravoCon and the whole incident on the reunion at all? Like they're not even mentioning like an incident, like they're not even showing a clip or saying anything happened. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like it should be addressed and that Joe Gorga should just give an apology in general for speaking so provocatively to a female and also a coworker in public across a hotel lobby? Or do you think that we should just pretend like it didn't happen because they weren't technically filming for the season and it's another, like, it's almost like a freaking cover up by Bravo? I swear, I'm sorry, but it really feels like damn, y'all really just covering, just like they did with Beverly Hills with Kathy. Just, we never saw footage. We never heard any audio from the van. We never saw video from Lisa Renna. We never got anything when it came to the Queen of Beverly Hills, Kathy, right? Because she had lawyers. She lawyered the F up. And now they're doing the same thing, but they're doing it voluntarily. Why are they protecting the Gorgas? I think that, I really swear, I think that it is the endorsements that the ladies have. I just saw, and I posted, and I'm gonna say allegedly, there was an ad out. It was Bravo and Ford collaborating, and they had Melissa and Marge as the endorsers, like that did the commercial. And I don't think that we know that Bravo gets a cut from their, you know, as part of their contract is what they do as housewives. um, but a collaboration with Ford, when it says Bravo and Ford, to me feels like it would be a different sort of collaboration than if like the housewife just has to give them a cut like they do their manager. You guys know what I'm saying? And so it just feels a little bit like I'm just like waiting to see what is really coming out. I've never seen Margaret's brushes in Walmart. I'm not really a big fan of Walmart, but I've never seen them there. Have you guys? I mean, do you guys remember when Melissa made her workout gear? Do you guys remember she like put it out right after Teresa and Gia dropped their workout clothes? Like they had like a clothing line with like leggings and stuff. And like a month later, here comes Melissa and she's selling workout gear. But everyone thinks that she's selling like workout clothes because Teresa had just done a campaign and was selling workout clothes. And so she had to defend herself like to everyone in the comments and Instagram and explain that she was selling like jump ropes and weights and uh just like the little stuff that you would work out with at home. And then we never really saw it come out. It just ends up like on Marshall's, like on the clearance rack. People will randomly send me photos of like her workout gear and it'll be clearance at like Burlington or like Marshall's or something. So it's confusing because I don't know where they like put it out at, right? Don't you think that she would come out with something that she could sell in Envy? I don't know. Oh, Deb, yes, honey, yes. See that? Why they try to lie to us? Don't they should know better than to ever try to lie to the viewers of Bravo? Because it doesn't matter if you're Team Teresa or Team Melissa, you have some sort of like a private investigator gene in your body, and like everyone is better at a different category of private investigating, and that's what's so great about having a community of content creators. Like, I might be better at like chatting with the housewives, while my friend might be better at getting like the clerical stuff, like maybe the stuff from courts or law or public records, and then maybe somebody else is better at getting other information. And so, like, don't lie to Real Housewives fans at all. And Vanderpump Rules. Look at everything we've discovered from Vanderpump Rules. It's because Teresa is aggressive towards Andy, and Melissa plays this game at the dang reunions. I think Louis ruined it for Teresa coming back. Margaret and the word beauty don't go together. Barbara with your one-on-ones coming in strong with some comic relief. I love her. They do have investigators. I believe Margaret and Melissa too. Yeah, but I think Margaret and Melissa's investigators are like the assistant's cousin, but Melissa has a whole team. Don't let her fool you. Melissa got a whole mother effing team allegedly helping run her social. Okay, family and friends, close family and friends. They have anonymous accounts. They have their own accounts. They have accounts that they all use. Don't be fooled. Bravo 1 2 3 4. Bravo 1 2 3 4. Jennifer was like, you know what, Andy, you might have cut me off earlier, but you ain't cut me off now. Bravo 1 2 3 4. Rachel. Her point was that Rachel said she didn't watch the show, and so she was giving content to Rachel as like a backstory, as more information, so that she could have a better understanding of the dialogue and the dynamic between the women, right? And then she finds out like she was a fangirl, kind of. But who cares if you're a fangirl? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but you got to own that shit. You can't think that nobody's going to find that on the internet, sissy. You cannot lie to us. We are like a walking, talking, breathing lie detector test. It might take us a minute. Don't think it might take us a minute, but we'll find you. Remember, what was it? The show Wedding Crashers, when she's like, "I will find you." Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. Honestly, though, I think they both annoying and childish. These people are like in their late 40s. At the very least, they need to act like adults. That's so crazy. I know it does look really crazy. Damn, this wind, it better stop. Hi, JoJo. Oh, Angel Eyes. Hi, Sissy. Hi. I love Barbara too. Margaret, that's my favorite comment of the day today. Do you guys still want to talk more New Jersey? I have to be careful because I don't want to spill too much. Okay, we could talk about Nate Danielle Corral's husband just had a huge birthday party. And if you guys notice, have you seen all of the footage of Danielle, Teresa, and Jennifer hanging out? Letting everyone know there's no issues there, okay? Obviously, we see coming up the next episode tonight, who all knew, if Melissa knew this rumor. Danielle kind of, she's not really sure. She feels a little like she might have been blindsided. But she probably knew it had to be done. Number one, she knew it had to be done. Number two, she had a producer in her ear telling her to do it. And number three, it involved her in the biggest blow up ever in the history of Real Housewives, right? At the reunion. Not the reunion, I'm sorry, the finale. So I feel like Danielle, yes, okay, hypothetically, maybe a little bit, but like you reaped a lot of benefits from doing that. A lot of benefits, a lot of publicity, a lot of like sealing your fate for when or if they come back next season. That's why they have Jennifer, Teresa, and Danielle hanging out. They were at Teresa's birthday party. She had a girls get together birthday party, which I really loved because I thought it showed like, hey, Louis doesn't have to be up my ass. I can go hang out with my friends and have a great time.
Loved that. And then we saw Nate had a birthday. Really, Danielle threw a huge party at her house. She made a comment on her Instagram and thanked her neighbor for calling the police on her for having the one party that she has once a year. Mind you, Danielle lives like an hour from the other ladies, but she has a beautiful home. She was on HGTV. I think they did like a 6-week makeover in her house or whatever. I didn't see the episode, but I'm assuming that's why it's like super duper nice, which is fine. She don't care. Also, if you're new and you don't know this, there's also footage of her from when she was young. She went out to LA to try to be an actress, and she was on, I want to say like MTV or VH1, like Following Your Dreams, and she was like this New Jersey, Long Island girl who went to LA and was following her dreams, and she had this Jersey accent, and yeah, you can find that footage, and then you can also find footage of her. She was rapping about Britney Spears. So it was like Britney Spears' biggest fan competition. There were 3 people. This is like practically black and white footage. This is how old this is. And Danielle is one of the people, and she does, I don't think it's a freestyle rap. I think it's just she probably wrote it pre-hand, but she like sings it and performs it, and it's obviously about how she like loves Britney and she's Britney's biggest fan, and she freaking won. And she like hugged Britney, and I'm like, Danielle, she's met Britney Spears. Like, that's kind of a big deal. I would put that on a shirt with my picture, hugging her. I'd be like, yes, I did meet Britney Spears. Seriously, I'm just saying, like, that's a big deal. Because it was like Britney before all of the, other, it was like so long ago. This says, I believe that too. He has to be shady too. Must have been crappy to see your children, only 2 kids, go at it like that. Siblings are meant to be tight forever. I found this new article, Gloria. I posted it. It makes so much sense. I told you guys I was doing research. So follow me. I read an article that basically there was only one sentence about it, and it made so much sense. It was talking about everything that had transpired. And it said, like, Joe and Melissa went on the show promising to talk about Teresa's finances, because nobody else really knew what was going on with Teresa's finances. But if you remember, I think it's season 2, Danielle brings up financial issues, right? She tells Teresa that they're filing bankruptcy or losing their house or something. That's when Teresa chases her through the country club. And we didn't have anyone to speak against Teresa or anyone to get that information from, right? So allegedly, that's why Melissa and Joe came on, because they had the inside scoop. You guys are forgetting that Teresa was hanging out with Melissa and Kathy the whole time she was filming and doing the first 2 seasons, and she was speaking to them as if they were just friends or family, naturally telling them everything that's going on, and they are just taking it all in. And then boom, they come on 2 years later. So I think that's why there's like some betrayal there. I mean, obviously we don't have to debate the same thing over and over, but to think about it, it makes sense, because who would know Teresa's finances to talk about it on the show? Her brother and her cousin, right? Who else? So Danielle Staub was allegedly the one that introduced the financial issues, right? Because her and Teresa were fighting, and Joe and Melissa came on to bring all of them to light. And it makes perfect sense to me. Let me know your thoughts. I also want to say one more thing. Well, 2 more things. I'll tell you the serious thing first. First of all, yes, I've been still getting some like bullying Twitter and comments that are very, very uncalled for, basically. Okay. And I block people because I don't want to have contact with you. Any sort of contact, good contact, bad contact. I just don't want contact with you. I don't know what's going on right there. So I just want to stay back, right? I just want to keep my 6 feet, right? And there was something that was shared on Twitter that I didn't share, create. I didn't do anything on. They tried to tag me in it, commented on it, and then like just ruthless, terrible comments. Like comments about my mother, my dead mother. Like who are you people? Like my God in heaven. Like who are these people that are like want to literally wish death on people over housewives? Like I don't understand. So if I block you, please don't try to tag me. That's why I blocked you. I mean, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, like, do your thing. I don't care. Do your thing wherever you do your thing. But I'm doing mine over here, so leave me alone. Right? Like, god damn. I should show you guys the comments. Like, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, there's bots, but then there's also legitimate accounts, and then there's also accounts that are like run by housewives. But the account like commenting about my mom, like, come on now, you got to get your life together. Like, you got to be able to rest your head at night. Seriously. Okay, guys. Anyways, moving on. I just wanted to make you guys aware of that because it happens to a lot of people, and I think what nobody realizes is how much harassment goes on behind the scenes. I just had like a DM from someone randomly who's one of my subscribers who was like, "Can you please help me because this guy is harassing me. He's MG's cousin." And I was like, "Did you post anything like that they were upset about, or like did he send you a cease and desist?" And it's not even a fan count; it's just a follower. And they were like, "No, all I did was post some comments that were like, you know, not nice about Melissa. That's it. But like, he's harassing me." Yeah. So if you are, there's going to basically, we're probably going to have to create a support group. Like, if you've been harassed, emailed, sent a cease and desist, or bullied by MG's team, raise your hand. Damn. Like, so if it's going on behind the scenes, if it's happening to you, get at me at the DM. That's not hacked. Hopefully it stays not hacked. Because you guys know my Instagram was hacked too from an account out of New Jersey like 3 weeks ago. Just saying. But yeah, get at me if you are receiving DMs from people like giving you a hard time about any of like your comments, because I think that there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that might be a victim to this sort of, I don't even know what like you would call it, but it's definitely muddying the water for housewives, content creators, and Bravo altogether, because it's kind of like the bot farms, same kind of concept, except these are like real people that are legitimately like, I don't know. I just feel like that's really extreme to me. Like, I don't know. I'm like taking care of my kid. And like one of the girls was like laughing because they were like asking where I was at because I wasn't in the chat or something. It took me a while to answer. And they were like laughing because they're like, well, she's actually like taking care of her kid, you know, while other people post all day long, like no worries, like they don't have any. And I'm like over here, you know, being a mom and working, and yeah. So make sure you guys hit the like button. Thank you, Angel Eyes. Also, let's talk about really quickly. There was some rumors going around on Twitter. I'm not sure if it's true. Also, remind me to tell you the blind item before we get off of here. Rumors about Kim and Croy. Allegedly, Croy did a live. Now, guys, I don't know if this is true. This was on Twitter. Some people were debating it. And I haven't seen any footage of it, but there were lots of comments of people confirming it that Croy was maybe drunk. I don't know. He was on a live and he was upset talking about Kim allegedly spending basically all of their money and a small fortune on the wardrobes of like the small children alone, the 4 small children alone, and that she was cheating. I don't know if that's true, guys. I'm just saying that's the allegations that are being said. Yeah. So also there was the whole Giudice. He was on Behind the Velvet Rope. I don't know if you guys caught that. If not, you better catch it. It's a great interview. I love Juicy Joe. He's very honest. He gives a really great perspective of the judicial system. It's not always easy to understand. It's kind of confusing. IRS, FBI, Fed time, state time. Like, it's confusing to the average person. They want it to be like that. So he does a really honest, though. He just, what I appreciate about him is that his reflection of his experience with the judicial system and being in prison is very accurate. Like, he doesn't he doesn't sugarcoat it. Like, he's not scared to say, like, the United States treats you like an animal. They just dropped me in Italy, and thank God the Italian people, took me in, because they literally just dropped me there. And that's after he spent an additional 6 months in an ICE facility, because he was technically an immigrant and they were fighting deportation, which was basically, his chances were like 0 to none. Deportation lawyer, very, very expensive. And again, being held after he had done the 3 years in prison. So he has a 3-year sentence. Imagine that. You have a 3-year sentence. It comes up on your 3 years, and you don't get to go out. You got to go from the federal institution to an ICE institution, and you'll be held there for another 6 months with people who are coming straight off the streets. It's like a county jail almost, because the difference between prison and county jail is, by the time they get to prison, they've dried out, the drugs are out of the system, their alcohol's out of the system, they've detoxed, they're thinking clearer typically, and they've been medically cleared, mentally cleared. They're not going to come in with lice or anything like that, right? The county is a little bit different, because when people are coming in straight off the streets, you don't know what you're getting. And there are people in there like trying to themselves, because it was so bad, the conditions, allegedly. And this is allegedly what motivated Gia to take on a legal sort of position. I think she's like interning with an immigrant lawyer and starting to like learn different immigration laws, which I think is like amazing and fantastic. You guys know I advocate all the time, so I really love that she does that and that she's interested in that, because there's a lot there to do. Okay, guys. Also, we'll unravel all of that later about Joe Giudice. But that was part of the prison. Yes, he said that ICE it was worse than prison. Absolutely. Angel Ice says, I love Joe Giudice. He always brings comedy into the situation. He tells the truth. Yes, he does. I think everyone appreciates that about him, though. And he took it on the chin, guys, when he called Teresa CUNT allegedly at the reunion. If you go back, there was a lot of heat on him sometimes. There was a lot of heat on him when it came to that, when it came to their financials. Andy didn't go easy on him. He didn't go easy on Teresa, but he didn't treat them the way that he's treating Teresa at this reunion specifically. And he is treating Melissa different. He treated her different on Watch What Happens Live. We all saw that, how she spoke to him. That was her boss. Are you a therapist? Wow. I don't know. Something's up. I just don't know what it is, guys. I felt so bad for them when he was in ICE. Did you listen to Juicy on the pod with David Yontiv? Yes. Hi, Carolina. Yes. You guys know I love David. And he always comes out with great people. I'm like, my phone was dinging all morning because people were sending me clips of Joe Giudice on David's podcast, clips, everything he was talking about. My phone was dinging, my Instagram was dinging. Like, people were not expecting him to come out and have this banging interview with Joe Giudice in the middle of the Real Housewives New Jersey reunion. I mean, we haven't even seen the third part yet, and he's coming out and saying, like, Bravo, you're wrong. Andy, you're wrong. Like, I know for a fact he was feeding information to this attorney named Monica. You guys can look her up. She was present season 2. Oh, guys, I'm going to have to go. My aunt's here. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you have a great day. And I'm going to drop a couple more videos. And then, I'm going to drop one about Joe Giudice. And then I'm also going to drop one about everything that's going on with Monica Shahan, too. Because I think that everyone needs to know about, all of that. So make sure that you guys hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on so that if I go live again, you'll have it. All right, guys. Bye.